You ever turn the key and hear nothing but silence? Not a groan, not a click. Just dead air, like your car forgot your name. I had a guy roll into my bay last January. Carl, 68, retired school teacher, standing there in the snow with his hand shaking. Not from the cold, from that gut punch feeling you only get when your car decides it's done with you. He'd been told by a trusted quick lube place that his maintenance was all caught up. Turns out, they had never checked his coolant, never tested his battery under load, and they definitely never touched his transmission fluid, which was the color of motor oil left in a rain gutter for a month. Carl wasn't lazy. He just trusted the wrong people. And that's why I'm talking to you today. Because your car isn't going to break down from one big dramatic failure. It's going to die 1,000 paper cuts, tiny oversights, ignored warnings, myths you believed because they said so. But what if I told you that with just 12 simple, honest tasks, things you can check or do yourself in under an hour, you could avoid 90% of all roadside breakdowns? Not next year, not someday, starting tomorrow. Stick around, because task number 7 alone has saved more customers from tow bills than I can count. And if you've ever been stranded on the side of the road wondering, how did I miss this? Hit like right now. It helps more honest mechanics like me reach folks who actually care about their cars. Now, let's start with the one thing everyone thinks they're doing right, but almost never are. Your engine oil. Yeah, you change it. Good for you. But are you changing the right oil at the right interval and checking it the right way? I've seen guys bring in brand new trucks with lifetime oil claims only to find sludge buildup that look like wet concrete. Here's the truth automakers won't shout from the rooftops. There's no such thing as lifetime oil. Not in real-world driving. If you're doing short trips, under 5 miles, hauling loads, or living somewhere with real winters or scorching summers, your oil breaks down faster than a cheap pair of boots. Short trips never let the engine get hot enough to burn off condensation. That water mixes with oil, creates acids, and eats bearings from the inside out. And checking it? Don't just glance at the dipstick after a cold start. Run the engine for 5 minutes to circulate everything, shut it off, wait 2 minutes for it to settle, then pull the stick. Wipe it clean, stick it back in, pull it again. If it's black, gritty, or smells burnt, change it, even if the sticker says you got 2,000 miles left. And don't fall for the just synthetic lasts forever myth. Even full synthetic degrades. The additives wear out. The viscosity thins. Your engine doesn't care what the marketing says. It cares what's protecting it right now. If you've ever been told, just go by the light, because that light doesn't know you drive 10 miles to work through stop-and-go traffic every day. You do. So act like it. But here's what no one tells you. And even if your oil's perfect, your coolant might be plotting against you. I can't tell you how many winter mornings I towed in cars that overheated in freezing weather. How? Because their coolant wasn't just old, it was contaminated. Coolant doesn't just cool, it lubricates your water pump seals and prevents corrosion inside the radiator, heater core, and engine passages. After 3 years, that pink, green, or orange magic juice turns acidic, especially if it's the older IAT, inorganic additive technology type. That acid eats aluminum, clogs tiny passages, and worst of all, loses its freeze protection. So your engine seizes on a minus 10 degrees F morning, not because the battery died, but because the coolant turned to sludge, the water pump locked up, and you hydrolock trying to crank it. Drain and flush it every 30,000 miles or 3 years, whichever comes first, and use the exact type your manual specifies. Mixing OAT, organic acid technology, with HOAT, hybrid, creates a gel that'll plug your entire system like wet cement. I had a customer bring in a 2014 Ford Fusion last fall, overheating like crazy. He'd topped it off with whatever was cheapest at the gas station. We flushed out a thick brown sludge that had completely blocked the heater core. It took 3 flushes. Cost him $300 in labor he didn't need to spend. Don't be that guy. If you've ever had a mysterious overheating issue in winter, drop a comment below. I'll help you diagnose it. I read every one. Now, this next part is where most folks go wrong and where dealerships make bank. Transmission fluid. They'll tell you it's sealed for life. That's like your roof doesn't need shingles because it came with one. I pulled the pan on a 2018 Silverado last month, only 42,000 miles, and the fluid was brown, smelled like burnt popcorn, and had metal shavings you could see with the naked eye. The owner was shocked, but the light never came on. Of course it didn't. Transmissions don't warn you. They just fail. And when they do, it's $4,000 you didn't plan for. Here's the fix. Every 60,000 miles, do a drain and fill, not a flush, unless your manual explicitly says flush. Some older ZF units hate flushes because it stirs up debris. And if your car has a dipstick, check it warm, in park, on level ground. Wipe, reinsert, pull. It should be bright red or pink and smell sweet, not burnt or acrid. If it's dark or smells off, don't wait. Do it now. And while you're at it, replace the filter and pan gasket. It's cheap insurance. Subscribe so you never get blindsided by a sealed for life lie again. Because I promise you, your transmission is not immortal. And that's not even the weirdest part. Because while everyone's checking oil and coolant, they're ignoring the battery terminals. You can have a brand new battery, but if those terminals are crusty with white or green corrosion, you're getting poor connection. That means slow cranking, erratic electronics, and that ghost check engine light that comes and goes. Corrosion increases resistance, which makes your alternator work harder and your starter drag. Clean them once a year with a wire brush and a paste of baking soda and water. It neutralizes the acid. Then coat them lightly with dielectric grease, not petroleum jelly. That melts under hood heat and attracts dirt. Simple, yeah, but I've revived more dead cars with a $2 brush than with jump packs. One winter, a nurse pulled in at 6 a.m., tears in her eyes, late for a double shift. Her van wouldn't crank. Battery tested fine. We cleaned the terminals and it fired right up. She hugged me. That's the power of basics.
Wait till you hear what happened next with brake fluid. It's invisible, but it's stealing your stopping power. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, which just means it loves water. Over time, it sucks moisture from the air through microscopic seals in the master cylinder and calipers. Once it's got 3% water content, and that can happen in as little as 18 months in humid climates, its boiling point drops by over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Slam your brakes going downhill, the fluid boils, creates vapor bubbles, and poof, your pedal goes soft or to the floor. You might not even know until it's too late. Most owners never change it, but you should. Every 2 years, no excuses. It's cheap, takes 20 minutes with a turkey baster and fresh fluid, and could save your life. If you drive in mountains, tow trailers, or do a lot of city driving with hard stops, make it annual. And use only DOT4 or DOT 5.1. Never mix DOT 3 and DOT 5, silicone-based. They don't play nice. Brake safety isn't sexy, but it's non-negotiable. Now, let's talk about something you can see. Your air filter. It's not just about power, it's about protecting your mass airflow sensor. A clogged filter forces the engine to suck air through the tiniest gaps, often pulling dust right past the filter media onto that delicate sensor. Once it's coated with oil or dirt, it sends false readings to the computer. Result? Poor fuel economy, hesitation, surging, and false lean codes that send you chasing ghosts. Change the filter every 15,000 miles in dusty, rural, or construction-heavy areas, or every 30,000 if you're on clean highways. And never, ever clean a paper filter with compressed air. You'll tear the fibers, creating holes that let unfiltered air through. Just replace it. That costs less than your morning coffee. I had a kid bring in his Miata last summer, running rough, getting 18 mpg instead of 30. He cleaned his filter with an air compressor every oil change for 2 years. We swapped it out, cleaned the MAF sensor, and boom, back to normal. Sometimes the fix is that simple. But here's a silent killer hiding in plain sight. Your drive belts and tensioners. On most cars built after 1995, one serpentine belt runs everything: alternator, power steering pump, AC compressor, and water pump. If that belt snaps at 70 miles per hour, you lose power steering instantly, your engine overheats in under 5 minutes, and you're stranded on the shoulder with steam pouring out. And the tensioner, it wears out silently. The spring weakens, the pulley bearing seizes, and the belt slips or jumps off. Listen for a chirp or squeal on cold startup. That's your warning. Inspect the belt every oil change. Look for cracks deeper than the grooves, fraying on the edges, or glazing, a shiny, smooth surface. If you see any of that, replace it. And always replace the tensioner at the same time. They wear together. I lost count of how many customers said, "It just quit out of nowhere," only to find a shredded belt wrapped around a seized idler pulley. Don't wait for the noise to get loud. Prevent it. Now this one's obscure but critical. Your PCV valve. Positive crankcase ventilation. It's a $15 plastic part that recirculates blow-by gases, unburned fuel and combustion byproducts from your crankcase back into the intake to be burned again. When it clogs, pressure builds inside the engine, forcing oil past seals and gaskets. You get leaks from the valve cover, rear main seal, even the dipstick tube. Worse, that pressure creates sludge and causes vacuum leaks that mimic head gasket failure, rough idle, misfires, oil in the air filter box. Mechanics often misdiagnose this as a major engine issue, but 9 times out of 10, it's just a $15 PCV valve stuck shut. Replace it every 50,000 miles. Takes 5 minutes. No special tools, just pull the hose, pop it out, and snap in a new one. And while you're there, check the hose for cracks or oil saturation. It's a tiny part with massive consequences. And that brings us to the radiator cap. Yes, the cap. It's not just a lid. It's a calibrated pressure regulator. A properly functioning cap holds system pressure at 15 to 18 psi, check your manual, which raises the boiling point of your coolant by nearly 50 degrees Fahrenheit. A weak cap won't hold pressure, so your coolant boils at lower temps. Overheat on a hot day? Could be the cap, not the radiator. Test it with a pressure tester. Most auto parts stores will lend or rent you one for free. If it doesn't hold within 1 to 2 psi of spec, replace it. Costs $12. Saves your head gasket, your water pump, and your sanity. I've seen caps fail after just 4 years of underhood heat cycling. Don't assume it's fine because it still clicks. Don't stop there. Your tires are talking to you. TPMS lights only come on when you're way low, usually 25% under. But real danger is in the sidewalls and tread depth. Check for cracks, dry rot, or bulges, cord separation, or uneven wear every time you gas up. Uneven wear isn't just about comfort. It's a sign of alignment issues, worn suspension parts, or improper inflation. And underinflated tires, they increase stopping distance by up to 20%, hurt fuel economy, and can overheat and blow out on the highway, especially in summer. Check pressure cold, monthly, with a quality gauge, not the one at the gas station. Not when the light comes on, before it does. And rotate them every 5,000 miles to even out wear. Your front tires do 70% of the braking and turning. They wear faster. Rotate equals longer tire life equals more money in your pocket. Task number 11 might surprise you. Your fuel system. On modern GDI engines, like most Fords, Hyundais, Kias, and Toyota since 2012, fuel is sprayed directly into the combustion chamber at high pressure. That means no fuel washes over the back of the intake valves. Over time, carbon builds up like plaque in an artery. Result? Rough idle, misfires, poor acceleration, and failed emissions tests. Dealers will tell you it needs walnut blasting, a $600 service that shoots crushed walnut shells into the intake to clean it. But prevention is simpler. Use top-tier gasoline, look for the logo at Shell, Chevron, Costco, etc. They contain more detergents, and add a quality fuel system cleaner like Techron Concentrate Plus or Redline SI1 every 5,000 miles. It won't remove heavy buildup, but it'll slow it way down. And if you do mostly short trips, consider an oil catch can. It reduces the oily vapor that contributes to carbon buildup. Your engine will thank you in smooth starts and quiet operation. And finally, wiper blades. I know, it sounds trivial, but during a sudden downpour at night on a winding road, worn blades smear instead of clear. That split second of lost visibility, that's all it takes. Replace them every 6 to 12 months, even if they still work. The rubber hardens, cracks, and loses flexibility. And never run them dry. Always use washer fluid. Dry wiping scratches your windshield and ruins the rubber edge. Pro tip, lift the blades off the glass in winter to prevent them from freezing to the windshield and tearing when you turn them on. It takes 2 seconds. Safety isn't just brakes and belts, it's seeing clearly when it matters most. So there you have it, 12 tasks. Not fancy, not expensive, but if you do them, your car will outlive the lease on your neighbor's new SUV. Carl, he's still driving that old Camry, 189,000 miles and counting, all because he learned to listen to his car before it screamed. Now here's the twist most mechanics won't say. Your car doesn't want to break down. It wants to run. It'll whisper warnings for months if you know how to listen. The oil darkens, the belt chirps, the coolant smells sour, the transmission hesitates for half a second. These aren't failures. They're invitations to care. And caring doesn't mean buying expensive add-ons or chasing every warning light like a panic. It means showing up consistently with attention and respect. Because here's the truth about cars and life. Neglect is cumulative. 1 skipped oil change won't kill you, but 5, that's a rod knocking. 1 ignored coolant flush won't strand you, But 3, that's a blown head gasket on a holiday weekend. The cost isn't in the part, it's in the moment you're powerless. So next time you pop the hood, don't just check boxes. Have a conversation. Run your hand over the hoses, listen to the idle, smell the fluids. Your car speaks a language of sound, smell, and feel. Learn it, because the real secret isn't in the manual, it's in the respect you show your machine. And that's something no dealership can sell you. If this saved you from a future tow bill or a $2,000 repair, hit like. It tells YouTube this kind of honest advice matters. Subscribe for more no BS car care that keeps you rolling and your wallet full. And grab a comment. What's the weirdest thing your car ever told you before it broke? A smell? A sound? A vibration only you noticed? I read every one, because your story might be the warning someone else needs to hear. Stay safe out there, friends. Your wench is waiting, and your car is counting on you.